Okay, let's give you guys some practice. So you've got two cars, car A and car B. They're in a race. From here to here, it's 60 meters. From here to here is also 60 meters. So this one, car A, is traveling at a constant speed. So this is a measure of speed, and this is a measure of acceleration. So this car is going at a constant speed. This car is accelerating. So what that means is this car here, 1 second it would have done 9 meters, and another second would have done 9 meters, and so on. It's traveling at a constant speed. This one here is accelerating, so it's traveling faster and faster. So when time equals 0 here, the speed will be 0. And then here, when time 1 second later, the speed will be 3, because the acceleration is 3. Remember, acceleration is the increase in speed. So another second later, so this will be t equals 2, the speed will be 6 because it's accelerating by 3. Here, at t equals 3, the speed will be 9 because the car is accelerating, so the speed increases by 3 every second, 3. And here the speed will be 12. Here the speed will be 15, and so on. Which car will win the race? So this is 60 and this is 60 meters. Which car will win the race? So press pause and have a go. Okay, so to do this, work out how long it takes for car A to do 60 meters. So let's draw the speed time graph for car A and the speed time graph for car B. So this is for car B and this is for car A. So for car A, remember this is speed time graph. So speed time. Here when t equals 0, the speed will always be 9. So the speed here will be 9, the speed here will be 9, the speed here will be 9. So your speed time graph would look like this. So it will look like this. It's always at 9. And remember, the area underneath the speed time graph represents the distance traveled. So when you do this, all you have to do is this. Your speed time graph will look like this. And then label this as 9 because the speed is always 9. And you're looking for a time when well, remember, the area underneath the graph represents the distance traveled. So you want to find a value of t, a time t, where this area here will be 60. So you want this to be 60. So get this length times the height. Remember, the area underneath the speed time graph represents the distance traveled. So get this length, which will be t, times the height, which will be 9. So that will be 9t. And then that equals 60. 60. You want the area to be 60. So you don't know what this t is. You're looking for a time when the area underneath the graph will be 60. So work out t. So divide both sides by 9. So t equals 60 over 9. So we will come back to this value later on. So now let's write this. T equals 60 over 9. So now let's look at the speed time graph for car B. So for car B, remember the speed here is 0, the speed here will be 3, the speed here will be 6, the speed here will be 9, and so on. So your speed time graph will look like this. So 1 second it will be 3, next one here will be 6, the next one here would be 9, and so on. So when time equals 0, the speed will be 0. So you're going to get a straight line looking like this. Now a straight line, the equation for a straight line, if it's a straight line, it will have an equation. The equation is y equals mx plus c. Here the intercept is 0. So you put 0 into the c. But then when you plus 0, you can forget about the 0. So now it's just a matter of finding out the gradient. Well, if you look at this, the height here will be 3, the cross will be 1. The gradient is always the height divided by the base. 3 divided by 1, which would be 3. So your equation would be y equals 3x. So that's our line here. That's the equation of our line. So let's start again here. When you come to draw the speed time graph for car B, because it's accelerating, it's hard to figure out the distance traveled. So you would have to do the speed time graph, and it will look like this. It will look something like this. So you can think of this line as being y equals 3x. So this acceleration here is this thing here, because the gradient is 3 up, 1 across. Well, anyway, the equation for this straight line is given by this. So now you're looking for a time. You're looking for a time t where the distance traveled is 60. So remember, the area beneath the speed time graph represents a distance traveled. So you're looking for a time t where the area, where this area here will be 60. So you're looking for a time when you're looking for a time here where the area would be 60. So now, well, if you need to know this height here. What is this height? Well, you would put this t into here, and then it will jump to the height. It will jump to the height. So this height here will be, we'll put this into here, it will be 3t. Whatever t may be, we don't know yet. We're trying to figure this out. So the height here will be 3t. What's the width here? The width here is actually t. So the area of this triangle would be this times this, which would be 3t squared. So the base times the height will give us the rectangle. So we need to cut it in half to give us the area of the triangle. That will represent a distance traveled, but we want the distance to be 60. So we put the 60 into the d, and then try and work out the time that will cover 60 meters. So now just work out t, the time. So times both sides by 2. So that will be 123t squared. Divide both sides by 3. So that will be 40 equals t squared. So t equals root 40. So remember, t equals root 40. Hang on, let me clear this. So t equals root 40. Over here earlier, t equals 60 over 9. So the time it takes for this car to do 60 meters is given by this. The time it takes to do this distance is given by this. So now jump to a calculator. Hang on. Sorry, I should have prepared this. Hang on. Jump to a calculator. Bear with me. Jump to a calculator. Root 40 would be root 40 would be 6.32. 60 divided by 9 equals 6.67. So the time it takes for car B to do this is 6.32 seconds. The time it takes to do this would be this. So you can see car B can do the same distance in less of a time than car A. So you can conclude that that car B would be faster. So car B would win the race because it would have done 60 meters in a shorter amount of time. So car B wins. Okay. So car B wins.